I think we're good to go. Thanks for watching the VOD. And apologies for not getting to your comments in the last, I don't know, man, 2 weeks? I'm sorry. Time is moving very, very fast. You guys can probably understand. Time is moving crazy fast right now. So, let me put that on my to-do list. Let me see if I can pop in there and hit some of the comments at least tomorrow morning over coffee or something. Where's my to-do list? Hey, Snortus. YouTube comments. House Pants, hello. Calthier, Timote, Strongbow, what's up, John? The Mind 456, thank you for the follow. Akos, BMC. BMC, every time I read BMC, I think of BCM, which is Bravo Company Manufacturing, I believe. What's up, Nina? Sup, Florane? Sup, baby? Welcome, MMO Pug. Dakon? It's been so long, I think, since we went through the how do I pronounce your name correctly. Vorar, hello. Jordan Knox. Mosio. Varo. Weirdo. Lex. Wicca. And Davari. So how about those raids? Well, I mean, did you like the response? I tried to be thorough. You say it like it was a problem or something. It was a discussion, and I've answered it, and I'm happy to talk about it more. I thought it was a really good post on Criddle's part. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm not near the mic, huh? Okay, I don't want to mess with the whammy bar too much. I don't know if it's making weird sounds in your ears. Cheese Pizza 5567, hello. Well, that's in the way. That is a creative spelling of Bugbear. Look at you. Hey, Bugbear. What's going on? I like it. It took me a second. What's up, Vulork? Hello. Vulork OG. Been hanging out in the stream forever. Kotetsu, hello. Channing Tauntum. I like it. Bottle Rocker, Jumbo Kong, Okaden. What's going on, guys? Auto P99. Question, is there a reason why Sewers isn't open on alpha test server right now? Interesting question, and thank you for reminding me. I don't know. But I meant to look earlier. Sewers is on my list. Sewers. Check them out. Sewers are on my list. I went to look at them earlier today and got distracted. Believe it or not. I was going through the list. I went in there to look for Sewers and saw a different zone, and just kind of like I don't know, Raven chasing something shiny, I disappeared into a completely different zone. I'm number one. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Nailed it. Nick was calling you Boo 9 Bear. Well, I'll call you Booty Bear if you keep it up. Kuzo asked, what was the response? Answer your question about PvE. It was a question about PvE, and I tried to answer it. I can probably go back through it. Dakuwan. Yep, thank you. Kuwan. Okay. Oh, I'm trying to learn Arabic as my kind of like wake up, relax thing, or like if I'm eating lunch and I want to be on my phone but be productive for a moment. I've got Duolingo. My wife got us like a family plan, and my mom's on it now, and her relatives and stuff like that. Her mom's on like a 1100-day streak or something. Her English has actually gotten really good using it. But so one of the languages on there is Strongbow do not. So it's cool. I don't know how to say that mine, but I see some double A's in there. It's also tiny, man. Like, how do you... I'm gonna have to ask Ali how he reads that. Oh, it's assalamu alaikum? Okay. Ah, okay. That explains the ah sound at the beginning. Reading backwards is interesting. That's also been a fun treat. Oh man, it's interesting. I keep getting like these German Temu ads, and they've got Arabic at the bottom, and I'm like, I think I kind of recognize some of those letters. Trust me, like I'm not saying I can read it. It's really just I'm on like level 7 in Duolingo. Jumbo said, did my first group content in P99, Crushbone, was great. Hoping to get alpha and or beta for Eminem. Right on. I'm glad you liked that. Was that your first experience with that style of content? What's up, Chad Solo? The artiste. Mr. Jigs, hello. Excuse me. Kombucha. Has the team considered opening Ink to one more race at launch so it's not only humans? Sorry if it's already been answered. I mean, we haven't discussed it in any real detail. What's up, Rogue? Nimitz, hello. Hey, Chinny D. Hello, Chinsworth. Can you share how many hours the highest poop soccer has? Curious. I wonder if I can easily run that report. I mean, I know I can. Anytime I do anything out of the norm, anything out of my routine on stream, I get nervous. I don't know why. Dakuan said, I'm watching on a 13-hour bus trip through Thailand to Laos. Laos? I think I pronounced that wrong, because I'm thinking the word like Laos or Laotian or whatever, but then just saying it like that is. Yeah, Chini's correct on that. Sewers will definitely be available for early access. It sounds like most of the work's been done. Just need to go through and look at them a little bit more. First time playing P99 ever, yes. Have a group of friends. One played originally, gave us tips. And you're having fun? That's cool. What's up, Class and Cool? Speaking of which. Sylvania, hello. Stromgo said, Deutsch ist meine am liebsten Sprache. Ich finde es auch sehr toll. Are we still on track for 3.1 beta? If so, any idea on population targets at start versus end? No on the latter, yes on the former. Jumbo said yes. Kind of wish I played EQ instead of World of Warcraft. My type of game speed. Right on. Yeah, it's just different, right? It's just different. Posture check. I'm always so hunched over when I'm streaming because I got to get near the mic. I'm kind of shaped like a EverQuest goblin when I'm talking on the mic. How's the weather in Germany? Dry and cold today. Bill, hey, by the way, and so far we're still looking for 3-1. We'll see what happens. How's the poll looking? Good question. Let's check it out and then talk about it in a minute. Because I guess there was some confusion about the poll, or some people, or I don't know, it upset some people, or it's I don't understand exactly what was going on with it. But we'll be providing some updates to it and stuff soon. Let me do the one thing you asked first, and then I'll do that. You guys got a bunch of questions, Corinthia. So let's first go to, I'll answer the last question first. How many people are opted in? Closed testing opt-ins are currently sitting at 7,892. Cactus Coder said, I was confused the difference between PvE 1 and PvE 2. It's on the calendar, Bill, if you go into planning. PvE1 and PvE2 is just to give you, we know that PvE, no box, is going to be the most popular option based on data we received so far. And so we decided, just like there's Rel and there is Krivia, we have two options there. You can start to be like, oh, these guys are going to be on one server, let's be on the other server because we want to be the, you know, biggest guild or whatever, or we don't want to compete with these guys, or hey, that server's looking kind of populated and maybe I'll go to the other one, just to kind of see how you like spread yourselves out a bit. So the additional options in terms of like regions, do we have a west? Do we have an east? Do we have 2 east? Do we have 4 west? Do we have 1 in the EU? Do we have like, all of that's kind of based on, can we start to get a feel for like, will there be enough? Like it's easy to just put up an arbitrary list of, here's kind of everything, and we'll work our way towards that. But at some point, it'd be nice to see if we can get a better feel for like what are the numbers actually starting to look like. So that may be a matter of incentivization. It may just be that we just won't know until incentivizing it. We may just not know, but it's been interesting, even with 2 servers up for the PvE options, to see you guys distribute yourselves evenly across the 2. That's nice. And then the distribution between boxing and no boxing, and then PvP. So we'll add some more options soon, and then put out an update to point more people to it, and then we'll start to see how people further subdivide. Manicotti asked, will all races have different options for starting points like EQ? Yep. Nick said to ask you, can we get more races for Inquisitors? I will give you a maybe. You'll have 2 races for Inquisitors by milestone 1. Or sorry, module 1. What's been my favorite part of development so far? I would say I don't know. It's just a very interesting development process. Streaming, I mean, streaming, it's nice to talk to you guys. I don't want to say this in a way that will sound like dismissive or offensive or whatever. It's fun to talk to you, but like streaming, it's fun to talk to you, but it is a distraction. And, you know, I mean, I think I'm like, anybody else, you know, I'm kind of like, like, I don't know, awkward or whatever. But, so we wanted to look at, but I think just the general process, like this has just been a really interesting project in terms of how it was formed. Excuse me. How it was, how it's formed, how it's like gone so far, how we've assembled a team, how we work together. It's really nice being able to, just be open with you guys, in all honesty. Like, kind of just talk no bullshit shop with you guys and show you what we're working on and all that stuff. So that's cool. That's been a different. I enjoy that part. Interesting to see a team doing all this and not in the same building. It's been very interesting to, you know, work with a team to do this, not in the same building. Setfer says streaming takes a lot of extra brain power for sure. It's, yeah, and my brain's just not necessarily built for it. Will Wagoneering be in for EA? No, I can't imagine. It will be in during EA. Mezric11, thank you for the follow. I would get distracted too. I cannot multitask while scripting at all. Team seems great. Love the bios, artwork on the website. Hey, thank you. Yeah, that's why I save like certain things, like a little bit of like propping work or, you know, in this case, updating mob placement, things like that. I save that for, like, I've been saving this all day, and then doing administrative stuff, you know, other design stuff, things that I can't really do on stream. Save those for, like, do those earlier and then do this now. And this is kind of it's a cool way to hang out with you guys for a bit. I would say relax, but it's often not that relaxing. But, you know, get some FaceTime and talk to you guys and things like that before bed. So my wife gets up at 5:30 in the morning. So on days when I'm actually moving my gears, moving my ass, I'm able to get here like 7:30 or 8 and sit down. It is now 7:39 p.m. So, you know, and I'm allowed to get up from my desk and do stuff during the day or go work out or whatever. So, but like right now it's about 12 hours into my day. And so then I get to spend a couple hours with you guys before bed. Daquan says, you make me feel like I can make an MMO. I think, I mean, honestly, what's the way to say this? I don't want to say like anybody can't, but it is a, you know, what we do is doable. There's just different sort of degrees at which you will, I don't know, you'll build your experience over time, but you got to start somewhere, right? But of course it's doable. How do I like working from home? Do you enjoy it more than going to an office? 1,000% more. I would love to be able to see people and meet the team in person and stuff, but like, but at the end of the day, like, just working from home is fantastic. Are backpacks equipable? Yes, and they show up on your character, but you can toggle them off with an option. All right, so what was I doing again? Somebody wanted some information. We were talking about the... So let's look at the server interest poll. And then duplicate. Do quivers in the backpack slot show up as a quiver or just backpack? Should show up as a quiver. We were just having this discussion the other day and I thought they did. Working with people in person is so good for picking up shared knowledge, but work from home is nice. I'd say that we chat so much constantly in Slack that it's really been great being able to learn from people because we're all just kind of like, for the most part, chatting pretty openly, so you can see what people are talking about and you can learn there. The biggest challenge I think we have being fully distributed is like text. Text doesn't always convey. And so, you know, people have personalities and you want to get to know people's personality, and that can be tough. Yeah, we've talked about adding longer subscription rates, like 3 months, 6 months, stuff like that. And we will support it, but for the initial like month or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever, we've discussed not having those longer ones right out the gate, just so that people can come in and figure out if they like the game before they commit to too much time, right? What happens if you come in and you buy like a year subscription and then like something happens or whatever? We don't want people to think that we're trying to rug pull them or anything like that. Does that make sense? We want, you know, people to feel a little more secure about stability of the project before they give us 6 months or a year or something. What's up, Tellin? All right, so yep, if you guys have not clicked on one of the options in the current server interest poll, that would be cool. You can go here. You can find it up here. And then we'll be providing more options soon. And then I can look at on mine my secret version of this. So 2,450 of you have you guys, did you guys decide against the EU option just to see if it would be doable? Spoiler, we'll probably put a EU option up on the poll just to see how many people start clicking on it. Zarkin said, did Ali work on MMO backends as a career or something? How was one guy able to set up all of this? He's been working on various simulators for quite a while, and he's also, not just saying it, he's also one of the smartest people I've ever worked with. And just like incredibly committed. That guy's juggling a ton and still just keeps hammering away. EA is not going to be on Steam, no. Hey, Byreal. And other people that just came in that I've missed. I just saw somebody. Hey, Corvus. I meant to wave back. Let's see. And then somebody was asking about people's time commitment in like test or something like that. Let me see if we've got a... Go to playtest stats. F and F. See what this does for me. Hey, Nevar. Waiting for it to load. While that's doing that, let me get organized on over here and start to get ready to do my work. Having a wonderful day. Just had to take out a loan on my 401k to replace my entire HVAC system that failed overnight. Did not realize furnaces were 20k plus. Oh, I'm sorry. That is horrible. That is horrific. Well, I hope the rest of your week goes better. I don't know what to say on that one. Damn. It's a tough one. -5 outside. Yeah, and your system's down. Are you guys good? Are you warm enough? How's that working out? Bugbear asked if we have any sense of how many people will be allowed in closed beta. I honestly don't. It's a really great question, and it's something we need to hammer out soon. I think that's one of those things in the past we've just kind of done it by feel. We've just let more people in and look at how many people are kind of playing consistently, and then just kind of go from there. What's up, Death by Gnomes? Are we gonna say able to say what will happen with our alpha tunes? Heathen, if I'm not mistaken, we want fresh tunes for beta. We may preserve those tunes off to the side, but we want fresh tunes for beta. And then yeah, you'll be going into early access on new servers with new characters. I don't, so within these stats that I'm looking through, I don't actually see the oh, okay, I think I do. If these stats are to be believed, if I'm not screwing it up somehow, we have people, like our entire top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The top 7 of the top 10 people in beta are over 1,000 hours played, with the top being 1,500. Okay, Nick said the stats were bugged. That I was about to say, because that does look very suspicious. So that would make sense. I don't think it's been resolved, but that's a good one to point Swanee at. All right, so cool. Nick said Swanee has fixed it. I might just be pulling it the wrong way or whatever. What were you seeing when you looked? Because I just saw like... And I just applied it over like the last month. The kind of default on FNF. And it is showing me top poop soccer is at 1,500 hours. Nick said he was only seeing a level 54 guy at the top of mine to no time. So these are all level 60s and they're ranging from between 600 and 1,500 hours played. Actually, let me... I guess I can just check this person's data in the other tooling. But I mean, maybe if it's bugged, it's bugged. Let me check. Played time, 62 days and 16 hours. So, me not being a math expert. Yeah, I guess that's about right. If you jump for a ledge, you think you can catch it one day? I just saw your last VOD. You barely missed a ledge. You can jump that gap. And we're fixing that fact. How deep underground is deep? It's very, very... Alright, so... let's start updating some mobs while we're in here. I've just got... for whatever reason, my mic seems to be in the way today. I don't know why. I mean, it's nothing different than any other day, so... wasn't my mic normally sideways? It was. It's a different desk setup, so... Like how sideways? Like this sideways? I can't see. Where am I? But now I may be too far. Am I too far away from the mic? I don't know. Oh. Man, now I gotta sneeze too. Okay. Like the mic was tilted sideways, pointing to the front side of me? Oh, I don't know, man. Mic parallel to the ground is probably the power move. Swanee says, if you want playtime in a window, we have the data for that, but on both those pages we're using time that the world server calculates and writes to the client. Now, I was just looking for, I mean, is it accurate to say that this individual played for 1,500 hours? Or was logged in for 1,500 hours? If we want to get lawyery about it. Oh, Keslar said, friendly reminder, a question about streaming on YouTube. Is that something you'd be open to doing? I'm open to it. I don't even know what that would look like. How does chat work? You gotta understand, I'm hitting the age of... You hit a certain age and you start forgetting things like how remote controls work or how to update the timer on the oven. Maybe the oven a few more years from now, but like the TV is blinking 12. The VCR is blinking 12. As with anything, I'll make it work. Dude, somebody on the team will make it work. Okay, right on, Swanee. Is there any fix for the telekey or zone lines coming? Eventually there will be. I just asked either Tam or Trent had posted something about it earlier, and I asked if you could just post the note directly into the bug so we don't lose it, since it seems to be a topic of conversation. So you guys can't do it. You can't see it. It's off screen. It's behind the chat window right now, but just kind of going through and updating. I had placeholder spawn tables in here. I had placeholder NPC spawn groups in here, and they've been nuked because I made the actual spawn groups that I'm going to be using. So I'm just kind of going through now that I've got like different spawn groups and starting to put in the like actual mobs instead of the placeholder mobs. First pass, I'm just going to do the like most common guys first. And then I'll come in and I'll be putting in the spicier guys afterwards. Control D, what's going on? What's up, squats? What time is it at my house? 12, 12, 12. Yes. Thankfully, the internet is making everything sort of update on its own these days. What is my favorite thing to design? I mean, that's a tough one. It's fun. So it's like basic world lore and stuff is fun. I would say that it's the thing that I probably allocate the least amount of time for, unfortunately, and I feel bad about it and wish I just earlier today, I was thinking if I could just do that, that would be fun. I enjoy, you know, base pop and stuff's fun, but like the really fun, cool stuff, like encounter design can be a lot of fun. It's great to see dungeons come together. Towns are cool. But, you know, making more complex, engaging stuff is a lot of fun. But it's also not the meat and potatoes. Hey, Atomic Frog. Yeah, if you guys could work on anything in game, what you guys want to do? House Pants says balance. Byreal kicked this off by saying that they'd want to do UI. That's awesome. Dungeon design. The Real Esquire wants to do quests and raid design. Vilizzy loves lore. For whatever reason, I read that as loves lamp. I love lamp. Isn't it lamp, or am I messing up that quote? Raid exploitation fixers, Death by Gnome says. Brofa show. Make goblins and lore best wizards. A lot of trade skillers. Bugbears into class abilities and adding secrets. Mesrix into security design. Greybomb says I'd be a prop artist. Right on. Class design. What's my favorite fantasy race / creature? This very moment, gnome. Gnomes. A gnome riding a minotaur. A manitar. If not security, make fishing the coolest trade skill ever. I could see that. I could see a person dedicating their life to fishing design. Migs said I'd work on engine and back-end code. Right on. How does one get into environment art / building? I mean, there's so many good tools and tutorials and options and stuff out there. To be honest with you guys, like Blender is free. Blender is free. Download it. There's an infinite number of tutorials on Blender on YouTube. Unity is free. Grab it. Or Unreal, if that's more your flavor of things. If you have no box price, what does Unity's cut look like? Yeah, revenue. They're just going off revenue. I don't think they care where it's coming from. Sigil GM, hey, thank you for the follow, by the way. Mesric, you as well. I don't think I said anything when it happened. I'm number 1. I might have missed you as well, so thanks, guys. But Sigil says, I actually get crap from my friends about how much time I spend fishing in games. I think you have a cool opportunity to make a neat fishing minigame that results in trophy better catches. Also, include easy mode fishing for general purpose. I firmly believe that fishing is one of those things that we may see evolve over time as we've got more time and resources. We put more into it. We've got an idea for like a starting point for it, but you know, it's one of those areas that I believe would benefit from having more effort put into it. Maybe effort that we can't fully expend initially, like going into EA, but we could do during EA. And the fishing crowd will just be happy the better it gets. You need a fishing guy? I know a fishing guy. Working around the mic is not happening tonight. We crowdsource just the fishing game. It winds up becoming the moneymaker. There is isn't there like a fishing thread in Discord, Sigil? If you post in the fishing thread in Discord, tag me so I don't miss it, and I will look at your ideas. Best fishing MMO ever. When I was at Sony back in the day, I don't know if they ever did it, but there was I thought we had either proposed pitches for or did something with, like, at one point I remember there being a pitch, and I don't even remember if I was involved in it or what, but there was a pitch for fishing and hunting games were super huge, and they're like consistent money makers. And so it was like, I think one of the guys named Steve had pitched a hunting and fishing MMO, and I think there might have been photography involved as well. Like, you don't have to hunt, you could just get the picture. Just snap a picture and that would be enough. Okay, let me see where I'm at in the map. It might be time to yeah. No, it is super satisfying. It's days like today when I'm doing a lot of pasting where I'm like, oh, I wish I still had my little finger. I am missing my little finger, yeah. So it's not really good for alting and controlling and shifting on the left side is not What happened? 11 Bravo related? No. Somebody in the YouTube comments figured it all out. They figured it out. They're like, this game claims to have no outside funding, but the person that keeps streaming the game development is missing the little finger. Mafia related? It's like 3 exclamation marks, question marks. I don't know that I want to get involved in a product that has that type of money involved. I'm not even bullshitting. It was, if you're out there, person who commented on this, first of all, bravo. Since you've been around for a bit. Sounds like a great troll. It was very well written. If they were trolling, then it was well done. Love trolls like that, not hurting anyone. I mean, but I've been on the internet long enough professionally that sometimes you get a feel that I don't think this person is, I don't think they're kidding. It's kind of wild, but I don't think they are. But no, the injury was just, I tore a ligament in the bottom of my finger. And there was no good way to repair it without my finger just being stiff most of the time, not having a very good range of motion. So I just asked them if they would cut it off so that I wouldn't, you know, if I want to go back to doing jiu-jitsu or any kind of like striking or anything with gloves on, I don't want to, like, I can't have a finger just sticking out. It'll get broken. So they obliged. They cut it right on off. And that was that. And then I never dishonored them again. I mean, I did not get to keep it. It's Germany. They have rules for everything. Somebody asked how long I've been in Germany. I moved to Germany in 2015. Was here from 2015 to 2017, and then moved to Sweden for 3 years, and then we moved back here in like the very beginning of 2021. I lost my finger training attack gnomes in puppies. Tell the Germans I said, hey, Delchov, I will tell all of them. Is this working on pathing? It is not working on pathing. It is the mobs do path, but right now I've got a bunch of placeholder spawn points that I'm starting to update with actual excuse me, NPC spawn groups. It's our collection of NPCs on in a table that is a list of NPCs and their spawn chance. Missing a little finger. I smell a clone coming in the future. And that is just the way I smell. Used to travel out of Weilburg, north of Frankfurt. Love Germany. It's a good spot. I like I've been happy with Germany. Mostly. I'll donate my little finger if you hook me up with alpha access, just saying. Well, I have not seen your little finger. I don't know if I want that crusty little finger. Did we meet in Germany or Sweden? My wife and I met in Germany, and then I moved to Sweden, and she was sad, and I was sad. And then after being in Sweden for about a year or so, she moved to Sweden as well. And then your other question. Yeah, I lived in Germany 2 other times as a kid. My dad was stationed here twice. Sweden, home of Sabaton and Paradox. 2 great tastes that go great together. My boss at my last company was... What was he? He was the chief product officer at Paradox. And then he was also one of the owners of the last company I was at. So when they got rid of our previous CEO, he came in as one of the owners and took over as CEO. So speaking of Paradox, Stockholm's a really small town. Sweden has become a major player in game dev. Yeah, they're fantastic. I mean, they're indoors so much. Something like 7 months out of the year, it's pitch black outside. So they have incredible interior furnishings, as you may know. So they've got a great furniture game in Sweden. They have a good, like, clean interior aesthetic. They're pretty, they're pretty quiet people. They're very reserved. Outside of work and stuff, like, people don't really talk a lot to each other. It's not that bad in South Sweden. Honestly, it's not that bad in Stockholm. I over-exaggerate. But, it does stay pretty dark. Cell Sharp, are you Swedish? It's crazy because the IKEA in Stockholm is such a pain in the ass to get to. Nah, but you spend time in Sweden, mostly on holidays. Okay, cool. And that was one of the funniest things about living in Sweden. It's so much easier to go to IKEA in, like, Germany, anywhere in Germany. The Swedes I know party pretty hard and love to drink. They go pretty hard, yes. I was actually shocked. It's like 2 days a week. There's Wednesday and there's Saturday. And so there's, I think it's Lortag. And then there's Little Lortag, which is like little. So there's Saturday, Lortag. And then there's Little Lortag, which is Little Saturday, which is Wednesday. And basically starting at happy hour. What are the Swedes' favorite drink? In Stockholm, it seems to be champagne. They really like bubbly. They're pretty fancy. Not even joking. We love wine as well. Hurricane Henry, are you Swedish? Came from him, stayed for Sean's ramblings. I mean, you're asking me questions, I'm answering them. I'm not like just randomly. It's not like I was just sitting here minding my own business and I was like, you know what? Swedes like to drink champagne. You're literally asking me questions. Literally. Hurricane Henry. Hey, hey. Sienna. Shaba? I don't know. I don't know if I heard that one. I'm not as familiar with that. I've actually dusted off I've dusted off Swedish and Duolingo. But that was just within like the last week. My wife is fluent in Swedish, so first character for EA, Gnomish Necromancer. Cute little female. And then probably a Gnomish Cleric. And then a whole bunch of others that never make it past like level 8. German, Swedish, Arabic, Unity. What language doesn't this guy speak? I don't speak any of them worth a shit, so if that makes you feel any better. I just like Duolingo. Nah, bro. Swedish is almost identical to English. It seems like a mix between English and German with crazy pronunciation. And of course some unique words, but a lot of like crazily pronounced German and Swedish words. It's easy to get started with Swedish since it's a very logical language. However, getting fluent is a bit harder since there are not so many Swedish speakers to practice with. My wife actually, she when we moved back here, she maintained a book club. So like once a week, she would get on a video call with a bunch of folks from both Sweden and Germany. And she reads Swedish books and listens to like Swedish audiobooks. Like she really loves the language. We really enjoyed Sweden. I mean, the topography is beautiful, right? Like it's a beautiful country. The people are rad. Very, you know, kind of to themselves, but you know, the people that we knew were very nice. They're easy on the eyes for the most part. That's kind of cool. And the language is cool. When Swedish inspired zone in M&M. We'll have to go north more. I mean, I kind of liked it too because like where we lived in Stockholm, it was a mix of very techy, great food. I lived, do you know where the Hagaparken is? Basically, I always mispronounce it, but Sveavägen. Sveavägen. I lived on Sveavägen, down towards the Haga parking, right as you're eating towards kind of the edge there. A block from All-Star Gym. There's the Kappa bar, the esports bar, like right there in that area. And it was great because that park was not Haga parking, but there's another park. And it was cool because they would have these hot rod days where they would have all these badass American muscle cars and like old classic cars and stuff. Any plans for special characters and or places that are not to each developer making this game? I think that kind of happens as everybody chimes in and kind of puts their 2 cents in. I would hope. There's no specific thread for fishing on Discord. However, there are a few discussions in general and elsewhere with cool ideas. Might be nice to consolidate these into a single forum, maybe under trade skills. Oh, that would be a cool, like, trade skill forum. If you ask Nick very nicely, he'll probably add it for you. I'll DM Nick. He'll never answers, but I know he loves getting DMs. Is that how you can tell? There's a fishing one now. See? No. That's the first time that's ever happened. Nick said to harass you about Dwarf Inquisitor. Well, there is one, a Deep Dwarf. There's a Deep Dwarf Inquisitor. On his way. One of these days. What's the idea behind races for Inquisitor? Will this possibly open up to other races before early access, or is it meant to be human only? I like the class. I find the race boring enough that I wouldn't play it. The thought was when we went through and did a distribution of race and class combos and stuff like that a while back. And yes, it was a while back, and but sometimes you got to plan ahead a little bit because we're dealing with factional quests and where people start and all sorts of other stuff. We picked the distribution that we picked based on a bunch of discussion that I don't know that I can hash out here right now, but it's not the only race. It's one of 4 races that gets that class. High Elves will get it, Deep Dwarves will get it, and Deep Elves will get it. Something like a Dwarf Inquisitor, I could see working in lore, and I could see that being an interesting class race combo, but I would say that it seems like a nice unlock. So one of the other things that we were trying to do in that conversation a while back was define the starting list and then define which of the race class combos that aren't on the starting list. Yeah, maybe lizard folk, since it hasn't been finalized yet. You know, lizard folk's pretty open. Lizard manses are pretty open just because working on them. But the idea was, all right, let's put some constraints in place so we're not doing everybody plays everything. And then we'll look at what combos might be really fun to unlock as part of content. Yep. Unlocks are planned both as things that might be actively engaged in and as content that just rolls out over time. I mean, because one of the other things too is it's a little bit like this is going to be a challenge for us over the next, you know, however many years. We're rolling into early access with a game that's about, in terms of content, in terms of landmass and zones at least, it's about 20% complete. And so from early access on, we'll be releasing modules, you know, small expansions that are free. They come with your subscription and they're a nice chunk of content. They're thematic. And within these, we're going to be rolling out the racial cities for the remaining races. So far, we have a human city. It's one of 3. We'll have the Wood Elf City. Module 1 will have the Deep Elf City. And one of the things we've got to kind of watch is there's so many cool things that we can do, and there's so many cool things we want to do. But if we're just like, oh man, let's do everything right now up front and not like think about, hey, would this be cool? So if you're saying something like, you know, why can't dwarves have X? Well, we've got dwarves in the game. You can start in Night Harbor, and you've got some options there. Nothing is preventing us from saying then when we hit the Dwarven City, hey, there's a new option that's coming with the fact that now you're back, you're able to start in your home city. And then you get to have X. There you go, Bugbear. In original EQ, if you go to the wrong towns, the wrong race, guards smack you. Is this still the case? It is the case. Night Harbor is a little bit more flexible, because it's got to accommodate so much. I'd say even as the underdogs come online for Module 1, then we can get a little bit. We can get a little bit more intense with that. Just because now we have like a clearly defined area below with that can accommodate sketchier combinations. Eldris713, thank you for the follow 5 minutes ago. Daquan, take care. If you're still traveling, be safe. What's the goblin starting city again? The dump, the pile, the something like that? The heap. Tornk, thank you for the follow. See ya. Can you disclose the names of any other cities yet besides Terralon? Eastham is on the east coast. Human City on the east coast. I think that one's been referenced before, so I don't think I'm ruining any surprises. Excuse me. And the Underdock zone's going to be really cool one. Chinny's already got a lot of work into it, and it's a great. It retains the feel of Night Harbor, but it's just got such its own vibe. It's just kind of chilling out under the city. Diverse city is my favorite part of BQ. Wow, you can feel the lore, tension, conflict, culture. It's so important for immersion. Yeah, it's going to be nice once, as more races come online, the remaining races come online, the additional cities and stuff like that. It'll be nice to go back in and backfill some of the cities and maybe play off some of those tensions a little bit more. Set up a couple new camps here and there. And the Deep Elf City is coming along really well. I think you guys are really going to like the look of it. How do you envision the Ogre City looking, feeling? Cold and brutal. Is the Underdocks a dungeon? No, it is a district. It's a district below. I just saw that Squats and Class and Cool flirting. It is an underground district that leads to an underground river that leads to an underground sea. Will Underdogs be its own zone? It is its own zone, yes. Underdogs will be its own zone. And then it leads to another zone. And then that leads to another zone. And then that leads to the Deep Elf City. Near the Deep Elf City is another dungeon. That dungeon is pretty complete art-wise. And it is, oops. And it's a cool looking dungeon. And then above that area, above the Deep Elf City and that dungeon I was just mentioning, is an outdoor zone, but it's kind of a weird one, so that'll be cool. Mesric, thanks for being here, buddy. You're very welcome. Any new mob types you can talk about, or are they all hush-hush? Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. I'm looking forward to us getting the Roper / Tentacle Terror in. That'll be a fun one to have for dungeons. Gamepad support, providing better or innate gamepad support, I think, is something we want to do in the future. But people are already doing things. Will we ever get a playable bipedal rat race? If we do, then I also think we should get the really cute little mouse race as well. I'll play a cute little mouse. I mean, it's an MMO. If you guys... Tell you what, if you guys help us stick around for a few years, you never know what will happen. Redwall and Skaven fans rejoice. Hey, Grimrosty. The Turtle Man race. I mean, if we can keep a nice population of players for... How about more than 5 years? Then we'll be in the usual MMO territory where it's like, let's just add random cool shit that's been on our list forever. Can we get a race chain potion so we don't have to reroll when Ratman comes out? No. Sorry, that cost us money. Thank you. The 27 playable races in M&M by 2035. What year is it? Maybe. $26 playable by 2027. Alrighty. Are kobolds in game? They are not in game yet. We have concept wise, we have mostly gone with the lizard kind. I mean, you guys have seen that one piece of art that we posted, right? Where you had the Dragonkin Kobold looking for the crew, looking for the party that's hiding. What am I doing at the moment? What are all the balls and cones? Bowl cut, Pat. I'm going through here. All of these are spawn points, and anywhere where you see a cone is a pathing, like a deterministic sort of pathing go-to. It is not how we do pathing, but it is how we make mobs go to where we want them to go. And I'm just coming through and updating the NPCs that are associated with each of these with a new set of spawn groups to replace the old placeholder ones. Grimrose T, thank you for the follow. Atomic Frog, whoa, watch out. It's not that late yet. Are there considerations to why things are in dungeons? Like who made this room you're in right now? Why did they build a square just to hang out in? The things that are hanging out in this room did not make it. The things that are hanging out right here have forced their way in long after this area was made. For a long time, this area was abandoned. And then, in more recent years, it started to get some interest from different groups. And now some of them, none of which are really supposed to be here, are in conflict. Who is the main environment artist on this zone? That is Bjorn. Bjorn and I have been working on this zone together. It's kind of a little side project to see if we could get an extra dungeon in before EA. And I've, like, one of the things that I did, see these guys are floating because I came in here and I pushed the room down and then punched a hole in it. And then added another area here. And now Bjorn is going to be kind enough to clean up my nonsense and make it for real. What mesh editor do I use? I use Blend. Why did I just pause on that? Blender. Blender. I believe Bjorn is as well. Are there invisible or hiding mobs that surprise attack? I don't want to ruin the surprise. You guys kick ass on doing side projects, make the game even more fulfilled. Yeah, the guys have been great. Little mini dungeons pop up, not so mini dungeons. There was a mini dungeon, one of the mini dungeons that Chinny did was like, I think I told the story, I thought for sure it was only like a 2-room dungeon. And then I was talking to Stab one day because he's like, hey, you want me to populate that? And I was like, okay. He's like, I've got some time so I can spend some time on it. I'm like, it's like 2 rooms. What does he mean? And then and then we went and looked at it. I was like, oh shit, this is a whole little dungeon. Cool. Cool. I love whatever that damn instrument is. I don't know if you guys can hear it well. But that, like, woodwind sounding thing. Looking long today? Well, thank you. What if we get a mini dungeon side, a mini dungeon that is a regular dungeon? Fat Chunk, I wouldn't put it past us. Do you guys have instances in or outside of dungeons where different NPC factions spawn and fight each other? Yeah, we have examples of that already. And matter of fact, that's what this guy right here does. See, these guys don't like these guys. Chinny said I actually have a specific idea for a mini dungeon side of a dungeon. See? Told you. I don't even have to make stuff up. Cones versus spheres. That will be our next game. A solo leveling double dungeon? But what about a double dungeon? Quad damage. Or no? What about a city inside of a dungeon that's inside of a dungeon with an added mini dungeon? See, that's what we got. That's what we keep you guys around for. You guys are helping us plan our entire next 10 years worth of expansions. Redorana, hello. I mean, we already have a dungeon that was supposed to be inside another dungeon, but when we finished the dungeon, before we could do the dungeon inside a dungeon, we were like, damn, this is too much dungeon. So then we decided to not go so hard on that dungeon. Vilizzi? Not that I know of. Greg Luganis said, what kind of corpse recovery mechanisms do you expect to implement for dungeons as big as this? Well, spoiler, there's at least 2 entrances to this dungeon that you can use. And I would say that you can, ask a rogue? Some sneaky person with invis or something. At last, 989. Yep, praying doesn't hurt. Yep, you can get someone to drag your corpse for you. You could start a GoFundMe, I guess. Necros can summon too. I'm not 100% sure on the sort of viability cost-wise at lower levels. And if all else fails, you can wait out and use the recovery feature. Yeah, if your corpse just times out, then you can go to a town and it'll cost you a bit, but you'll be able to get it back. Let me switch up Let me switch up the mobs now. Different list of mobs. Is this a lower level dungeon? It is a... It's a bit lower to mid-level. It's got a pretty broad range. I'm not going to give you all the details. Just being in here, spoiler enough. I don't want to ruin the whole thing for you. You'll see it. You'll get here. And it'll be a little different than what you've been seeing. We got a lot of work to do on it still, so I don't mind you seeing it, because it'll look a little different. Building a little PC for your daughter in preparation as I watch. Got the green light from wife so she can play, so we can all play together in June. Swingbird, that's super cool. How old is she? Like, it's almost, it's kind of just turned 7. Wild. You never know. A lot of people grew up watching their parents and older siblings and stuff play that first run of MMOs, so... Using your daughter to farm gold for you. That's a... That's a legal topic. I'm gonna pretend like I didn't even see it. Of course, none of our people playing our game will be under a certain age. I forget which one we've got to go with. 13, 16, maybe 18. Geister said, I rated EQ with my kid in my arms. Now she's going to play M&M with me. She's 25. That's wild. Time does fly. I got in the industry when I was like 25, and I'm 50 now, and yeah, it's gone pretty quick. It goes fast. The children yearn for the mines. They yearn for the mines and run towards the mountain. Didn't get in until I was 35, moved to the US. I'm 50 this year too. Right on. Is the plan to have some of the deep accessible by EA? It used to be, Grimrose. We originally planned to have one deep zone available, but getting in and out of it, it felt disjointed to keep it. And so we swapped it for a new outdoor zone that you guys on stream designed. We did a zone design on stream, Scarwood, and so we swapped that for Caves of Aram, and so that way module 1's got it's got more content to it, and it's all deep themed, and it's going to be a nice, like, just go in there and away you go. Any wood resources in the deep? Yes, and maybe some interesting variations as well. But wood is a... Oh, I might have broke something. Wood is a commodity down there. And we're going to try to, over time, play with kind of the regional commodities and stuff like that to make it feel kind of interesting to transport stuff, especially for trade skillers. And as fast as I can. Hello. What is your favorite memory or thing you worked on in Velius? Well, I was in customer service for Velius itself, but then I was able to fix bugs and do little additions here and there as part of like my apprenticeship to being an apprentice. I sat with the guy that did the 10th Ring War, Steve Burke. He was the apprentice that I was kind of like, I wound up just kind of attaching myself to. And so, running through and just like discussing the ideas for the ring progression quests, and then, being there when he was working on the 10th Ring War and like talking to him and bouncing ideas around on like how to hack certain things, etc. For Velius, that was pretty cool. I'm trying to think. I might have been, during that era, I might have been like fixing some Kunark bugs and stuff as well. Like I said, not a ton there that I can remember. I'm sure there was some stuff. I was starting to like... But my favorite memory of like the Velius era was the guys crunching on Velius, going to the Christmas party, I believe. I believe they were still crunching on it. Going to the Christmas party. It was a huge Christmas party. Getting hammered, and then like going back and continuing to work on Velius. And it was a cool time. It was an interesting time to be in the company. And then I think the launch party for that was in Vegas, I could have sworn. And like we were all at the Bellagio. It was just for me, it was a really cool time because that was right as I was really starting to make inroads, and it looked like I was probably going to be able to become a design apprentice, which then happened for Velius. And people, you know, the people I was learning from were like other design apprentices that were staying late and working. So it was like midnight or whatever after everybody'd gone home, and I'm in the office. It's lights are out pretty much, and we're just kind of like, there's only a few people there. Jeremy Ellis was working on the, I forget the full name of it, but the Naginata quest, like in fixing bugs in, why am I spacing on the name? Oh, well, not why. Everybody knows why, because I'm always spacing on the names. EQ. Was it the ethereal bladed Naginata? No. I don't remember. Do you hope we have GM events like they did in EQ? It's our hope. It is a strong ambition for us. It is a deep-seated desire. If we had the cash, like if we just have a nice stable player base for long enough, it would be cool to have some people just dedicated to doing GM events. Hey, Esan, what's going on? Hey, Marcy. Stretch. Hope there are many items like the Dane Ring where you get progressively better version of the item. Well, you don't want to overdo it and kind of take some of the specialness away from it. And also have a bunch of stuff where you feel like all your gear is constantly just being upgraded. Like with a new version of the same thing. Or a better version of the same thing. Now you're seeing goblin heads when I look at the spheres. Yeah, I mean, I think I've called them goblins for a while. It makes sense. Hey, Hekotat. Case Money, thank you for the follow. Another cool thing about back in the Avelius days was just meeting everybody, you know, not everybody, but meeting people for the first time and seeing stuff they were working on. I think Jason was working on Tower of Frozen Shadow, maybe. I forget what Dave was working on the art side, like, because, you know, I wasn't sure if I was going to be an environment artist or a designer at the time, so I was checking out the artists and what they were doing. Will there be more interactive objects and puzzles in the game, like flip a switch, stand in specific locations, unlock doors? Over time, it would definitely be nice to get more and more of that in. Hope there are zones like Tower Frozen Shadows. It was one of the best zones in the game. The idea of multiple floors with strong mobs as you go higher is awesome. And the cool thing is, you know, requests like that or ideas like that, that stuff's, it's doable, right? Because that's in keeping with what we're doing. I'm not going to say that you may find a small zone that draws some inspiration from Tower of Frozen Shadows, but you might. There are zones that you guys have not seen yet. Some of them I'm not sure if people in Alpha have seen. But yeah. look at the map again. All right, let's. Yeah, the challenge with towers in EverQuest was that AoEs didn't have a Z limit. Vexar is the undisputed champion of zones. There's no arguing. The Funkus. Right on. That wound up being one of those zones that we needed to add in some extra content, I think between expansions or something, and we've been discussing like where would a zone fit, and then we all discussed the fact that like we'd always wanted to see like Vexar. How cool is it to work on the next generational game? Man, can't even think like that. The idea is just it would be really cool if we're able to ship this game and have it be in a good state for you guys, and then we'll go from there. Floppy Mary, hello. Floppy Mary says, "Hi, great stream. I've only ever played a couple tests. How many zones will early access launch with? How much of the world is planned to be in 1.0? I think our last count is something like, when you count mini dungeons and stuff, I think we're at like 20 zones. Of course, with some being pretty big and others being, you know, a couple rooms big. And it's about... Oh, actually, I forget the count. We just went through kind of looked at the zone map and stuff, because First was calling me out on whether or not I was giving the right percentage out. But I think when we do Module 1 and release the additional deep zones, which somebody asked earlier, the hope is for that to come out hopefully within 3 months of us going live. We've got some good progress on those zones already, so hopefully within 3 months of us going into early access, you'll go into Module 1. With early access release and Module 1, it's about 20 to 25% of the total 1.0 world size. Chinny said, counting minis, new dungeon, and expedition, it's actually 25. There you go. And a couple of those a couple of those additional zones you haven't seen yet, or they're not slouches. So You're very welcome. Looking forward to seeing more of what you guys have been creating. Only see Night Harbor and the neighboring dunes, as well as Elf Place. Keep up good work. Hey, thank you very much. Thanks for popping by. Are we talking like Oasis of Mars zones? Anything like Nectarless Forest? What kind of scale complexity? With the exception of our like mini dungeons. I would say with the exception of our mini dungeons, all of our zones are... all of our main zones are probably multiple times the size of something like a... if you're using something like a classic EQ or an older MMO as a comparison, then we're typically multiple zones worth of content in one zone. I can show you in a second. Did the server registration poll results bring up anything interesting? Just kind of seeing people evenly distributed so far has been interesting. We're going to add more options to it and then see if it gets more interesting from there. What is the biggest mob currently in game? One of the giants? Dragons. We've got a couple dragons. Is Aetheral the current region of Alpha Beta, as in Night Harbor through East Tim on the East Coast? And does the next region have a module assigned to it? Or, oh no, Evershade. Aetheral is the entire continent, where Evershade is that, like, Keeper's Bite and Evershade is just a portion of the region of Califrey. The Night Harbor desert region is the Desert of Zur. And then as you go east, you'll go into the next region. So like the Terralon region, as you're going through the center of the continent. Don't split up Night Harbor. Size is legendary. At the end of the day, it's going to come down to performance and and just we're keeping an eye on it. We're optimistic that we can have a giant crazy zone, but if not, if for some reason we feel it's better to subdivide it, then we will. Performance is very important. Will there be a dungeon for Evershade like Wormsbane is for Night Harbor? There will be for sure a dungeon that is a bit higher level than Wormsbane. A little bit, and then it scales much higher. So it's going to be kind of like a high end of Wormsbane through Telekir for the Evershade region. That's what we're in right now, actually. Super Slug, no plans at the moment that I know of. It's going to tip scale as the deity goes into server. Yeah, I know. It's going to discombobulate everything, I'm sure. Torque said the content that will be in early access begin. How long do you expect to keep a normal person casual, has full-time job, busy? Not including any added content after early access begins. If you're pretty casual, the content that we have in at the moment. I mean, you can level to 1 to 60 in game. You'll have stuff to do. If you're relatively casual, you could probably play early access. I don't know, man. Like fairly indefinitely. I don't know how casual is, but there's a lot of shit to do. People that are in early access, if you talk to them in Discord, or if you listen around in Discord, or I don't know, people that are in early access that are in here that want to speak up, it sounds like there's a general opinion. I don't want to speak for them, and maybe I'm wrong. That you can stay pretty busy. Like I've even seen Reddit comments and stuff of people going, sorry, I got distracted. I've seen comments in Reddit and stuff of people asking about how much content's in, and people popping in saying, I've been in closed testing for quite a while and I'm still discovering stuff, blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, I'm not trying to like oversell it, but there's a pretty fair amount. And then we'll be just hoping to stay on top of the modules, and so. How many dungeons are we looking at so far? Including mini dungeons? I don't know. I shouldn't have asked. I don't know. Chinny could tell you. Only done Night Harbor. Haven't touched any other starting zones. There's plenty to do. I mean, honestly, our hope is that there's going to be a lot of people that don't necessarily have a ton of time, but you get in and just enjoy making some progress, and you enjoy the grind, and you enjoy seeing other people and just being in the place, and hopefully you're just you keep coming in to kind of like hang out and make a little bit of progress. And that should, I mean, in a perfect world, like you find a little static group, you've got some friends, and you just wind up, like I said, it almost becomes like at that rate, like a indefinite amount of content, because we'll continue to add more. It'd be great that by the time we've got like our full 1.0 and hit like a TLP or whatever, or just like full release, new server with everything, it'd be really cool if it's just people, that's when a lot of people start discovering us, and it's just this like, holy shit, there's so much. Okay, let's see. Switch up mobs again. 13 dungeons at early access, counting minis and expedition. If the sewers are considered 1, then 14. Yeah, so 13, 14. Okay. Yep, I mean, there's some... Oh, I forgot. There's one we still gotta populate. A mini dungeon. I just remembered it. Because I was thinking they all have like a different... So many of them have a different feel to them and stuff like that. So I just remembered one that I was forgetting about. Bless you. Vision Architect, thank you for the follow. Best games are ones that all types of playstyles can thrive at once. I mean, we're really hoping with this to provide enough. We want to make sure that we're catering to people that enjoy just kind of being in town, and the traders and the trade skillers and the people that are trying to push the leading edge and see everything and be, you know, the big boys on the server and all that. And provide a lot of, especially once more of the content is out, once more of the game is out, provide a lot of options for the people who are going to just spend a long time in the 30s and the 40s and stuff. Splice, yeah, I think maybe, yeah, eventually. I don't know why not in certain places. Lighting is still messed up in here if I had to guess. Oops. Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought I'd seen some, but I didn't. I wasn't 100% sure, so I didn't want to say anything. What is that? Ooh, gnome. Target self/kill. You know what you're doing, right? I know what you're doing. It's like when you really think, when you're like, oh, I think he's cute. I know that's what you're doing right now. I'm going to pick on him because he's cute. Will you be able to turn your house into a shop other players can buy from? Even if you're offline. Not if you're offline. No plans at the moment for offline, but yes, you can own a shop. We'll be working on taverns and inns and you owning stuff is cool. Any chance we'll see an auction house or trading system in the future? It could really help players focus more on exploring and less on sitting around selling items. Manicotti, we have a plan for that. So we have an idea. It's called, we just call them, generically speaking, consignment containers. So we have containers that you can, there are people that just want to sit around and trade, and there are people that want to go explore and never deal with trading. And so we're keeping trading as manual as possible, but you can give your items to players who like to trade under contract. And so you can say, you've got 3 days to sell this item for 100 gold. And if they're smart, they'll negotiate that based on what they think they can get for it. And so you may go, hey, I don't care. I think they go for 100 gold or whatever. And this guy may know, hey, buddy. This guy may know you can get, a bit more for it, like 150. So he'll say, all right, I'll sell it for 100 gold. And I'll do that within 3 days. And he'll sell it for 150. You'll get your 100 gold. He'll keep the 50 in profit. And you don't have to do any of the trading. And those containers can be something that people can pack onto their pack animal, meet you outside the dungeon. Yeah. And there'll be some people that just want to, like Baffs was saying, I just want to sell candles and torches at my own shop in the deep. Yeah, and you can, or you can, if you're in the deep, maybe once the lizard mounts are in there, you can slap a bunch of torches and stuff onto your like little pack animal lizard and have a mobile shop. And so that'll be our first like attempt with a system like that, and we'll kind of see if how people enjoy it, how they use it, how to potentially extend the functionality. Will each box be a type of broker where all boxes can be seen at once through UI, or will you have to visit each box separately? The people that like selling can put display cases out, and you'll be able to open up a case and see multiple, the items that are in there. Bigger cases mean more convenience, which is better for you as a customer, but also will incentivize the trader to upgrade. Can you set up buy orders? Like, I would like 200 bones and I'll pay 3 copper per bone. There, we were talking about a variation on the boxes that might be able to do something like that. But again, those will be cool things to be able to like try to incentivize a bit of progression. Dude, my dog is having such a good time with his favorite ball right now. He's so bored and wants to play. So each box is individual. You have to go to each individual box to see what's on the market. Yes. Or ask an OOC. Or sorry, auction. I guess OOC works as well. Oh, this is tight. Maybe I messed something up here. And then over time, again, this is like the initial setup, and then over time we can look and see, we want to provide value to people who are active traders. And so we can continue to provide them with like new features or new box types or display case types and things like that to provide for some sense of progression for those guys, right? Because if looking at a bunch of like individual boxes kind of sucks as a customer, and we can provide people who invest more in their shop or whatever something that's easier for you to work with, then they've got an incentive to invest more in their shop. And so you'll start to find like the guys whose shops are easiest to kind of go through stuff. I'm not explaining it very well. I'm tired, but I think you understand the English I'm attempting to speak. Oh no, I knew I was about to get trapped. Really enjoyed the player-owned shops in Ultima Online. Yeah, that's where we're pulling a bit of inspiration. There's some of that feel that we'd really like to be able to capture in our game. Will there be any portability to consignment containers? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I'm trying to bring up a donkey animation so you can see the pack animal. This one's kind of fun. Hey, Shiden. So you can throw some consignment containers on your ornery donkey here. Stinsball said, Wakfu also has a good system. You essentially place a table in the world and people can buy, see your goods. Yeah, we'll have display cases. Donkey is Goblin Mount, right? He is nobody's mount. He's a working professional. So yeah, you can set up a shop right outside a dungeon. For sure. Hey Zano. Thanks for being here. I broke a bunch of I think I broke a few things while I was in here doodling, blocking out notes for Bjorn, so I'll have to fix some of that. Shiden asks, obviously besides making sure things are great for beta release, what would you say the primary focus of the primary focuses of the team right now? I mean, that is their primary focus right now. That's a pretty big focus, right? Because it's not just the next 4 weeks until beta. Then it's, you know, we've got 3 months to basically continue to get stuff tight for early access. Sorry, I'm like reading a couple things at once. Hold on 1 second. Let's see. Do you have any plans to work on water shaders? Or are you satisfied with it? In general or in here? Well, we have a playtest before beta. I will loosely commit to the notion that at a minimum, I wouldn't be shocked if we have a stress test before then, at a minimum. Stress test. I wouldn't be shocked. How you been, Liz? Sorry I didn't say hi when you came in. Liz Biscuits. Splice VG says, well, Final Fantasy XIV, when it first came out, had a similar style to sell. Each character was its own. You had to go to each character and see what was for sale. It was chaos. You had hundreds of people lined up, all with the same items. So you'd have one character with a sword and one for gold, and another character with a sword for 50 gold. So if you didn't go to each individual character, you didn't know what they were getting. You weren't sure if it was the best deal, not to mention you had to go to hundreds of characters. Well, we've got the stand. We've got the stand areas. You guys have seen that, right? Hey, Zukin. Oh, he's saying hi to Liz. Hey, Zukin. We'll see how it works, right? Because I do think that people that are really into it, they're going to invest in like getting a little one of the booth areas. They're going to set up more display cases. They're going to invest in having more display cases so you have fewer places to go. They're going to try to build a relationship. You're always going to want to go back to Splice VG because you know Splice has always got the best stuff, decent prices, maybe not always the cheapest, but most variety, right? So then you're going to tell your friends, you're going to be like, oh man, when you go to Night Harbor, if Splice is on, and then people will be like, Splice, you got the best stuff, but you're not on all the time. You'll be like, all right, that's why you got to talk to my friend Shooter. So when I'm not on, Shooter McDavin's usually keeping it, like holding it down. And then next thing you know, you guys are like, hey, we should get a shop together. Right? And then it's, all right, where are we going to get it? Like Lucky Strike saying, location, location, location. You'll definitely want to get the best location. And then people are going to know you guys are on the corner with the good stuff. Decent prices. Not the cheapest. And then, yeah, you form a guild. Then it's a merchant's guild. Then you're buying like one of those really nice, crazy spaces. So that's the... You could work a corner at night. Hits a little close to home. I'm sorry, Grey Bomb. But you know what? No one's judging. It's a tight economy. Oh, I think the adjustment's been made. I don't think you can do this anymore. Wow. What's the intention when it comes to barrier to entry? If I want to sell bone chips and rat poo out of a shoebox at level 2, is that feasible? Yep. You can sell it straight out of your pocket. You can sell all the bone chips and rat poo out of your pocket. Yeah, you said it, not me. Criddle Games, hello. We didn't cover anything too crazy. Selling rat poop apparently is the topic. Was there crazy chatting in Discord? Okay. Okay, not in my Discord. Perfect. Perfect. Thank goodness. I don't know if I've ever watched those, Swanee. I don't know if I've watched those movies with my wife. Exposed her to to those. I'll have to ask after stream. Mostly Maui Wowie, but it's got a little Labrador in it. Yep. Good times. Cool. All right. Yeah, definitely broke some stuff. GM speed to testers win? What? What are you talking about? That's crazy. Cool. And I've got a bunch of other like classes and stuff like that I can start to mix in. I just wanted to do like a first pass. How long have I been streaming? 2.5 hours? I might wrap up in a few minutes then, so I can get to bed at a decent hour. I've got to get up again at 5:30 in the morning, which when I end the streams at 11, it's almost 10 right now. When I end them at 11, and then by the time I get to bed and unwind and blah, 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 then it's like a best case 6-hour sleep is not a lot. Nick said he's going to stream, so just give him a minute, get set up, and he'll ping us, and then we'll raid him, and then you can ask a bunch of questions and kind of go from there. The Funkus. Howdy. Oh, I saw you earlier. Thanks for the follow. That's what I meant. I'm tired. Pipes. Have a good night. I'll be back Friday. I'll be back. Sia Frog and XV and Chess Solo and Byro. Just found this game today. Super excited. Nice. That is awesome to hear. You're welcome, Vyro. Wind Bombs, Sia, Fade Away, and Baths. Thanks, Nina. I'll try to sleep well. You have a great rest of your day. See I Todd and Greg Laganis. And Weirdo did it for the glory. Bottle Rocker. Zarkin and Zukin. Almost twins. Control D. Baked Beans. Sideswipe. Hey. Thanks for lurking. Okay. Come on up. Ready. Up. Alright, buddy. Squats, what's up? Have a good one. See ya, Cold Stouts. And Killer Lee 2000 Thadvik. See ya, Swanee and Kathir. And Shooter. Bugbear. Zasarn, sorry, I am leaving, but Nick's about to stream. He will be able to answer your questions. We're going to raid him as soon as he says he's on. See ya, Liz. Hey, sorry I missed you're mentioning work stress. Shoot me a DM. Let me know what's going on. See ya, Rascal and Wicca and John NS and Darius and Otto and Scheiden and Viper and Valentus. Dude, he's been so cuddly lately. He's been such a cuddler. He's 5 now, and I think maybe he's just getting to be a very cuddly age. Ronnie, what's up here? What's up here? I thought we were still talking about Nick for a second. He did. I don't know that he is. He's older than 5, maybe cuddly. Hey, Tony. Setber. You guys have a great Thursday. I will see you on Friday. It's not that long. It'll be like we were just here on Wednesday. And I will see what visually interesting task I can save for then. Need street dogs to love on in Night Harbor? We've got some down near the harbor. So maybe we need some more tameable street dogs. That's an idea, right? Before we leave, are we keeping all the dogs as gods, right? Even during launch? I don't know. It'd be nice to, as much as we love them, it would be nice to get all of our god images in, but there's also a lot of gods, so. Children running around Night Harbor would be cool. No, children. Can't. You guys are too murdery. So. More general residents. Yeah, there are some that are in there that are like turned off because they're just standing there doing nothing. So it would be nice to get more more sort of roaming ambient scheduled folks and stuff in there. There's still a fair amount to do in Night Harbor, and will continue to be stuff to do in Night Harbor even after we go into early access. Nick is live. Let's raid him now. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful Thursday, and then I will see you guys again on Friday, probably. Most likely. So let's get Nick going. We'll start the raid now. We'll give it a minute. All right. We're going to raid now. You guys have a good one.